Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. We just got through watching Clash at the Castle 2024 in Scotland, and I'm here to break down all the winners, losers and what went down at the pay-per-view. But first, please let me say, if you do enjoy this video, please do leave it a like, leave a comment below. What did you think of Clash at the Castle in Scotland? And of course, subscribe for more wrestling action. Let's get into this one. So starting off, we kicked off the show with the I Quit match between AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed World Championship. I have to say, I was surprised to see this one start the show. I mean, of course, they normally say if you're not going to go on last, which of course we knew was going to be Damien and Drew, to go on first. And yeah, I was really surprised to see this one go on first. However, great match. You know, I was a little bit concerned with the I Quit stipulation. We had already seen Styles and Cody before. Not to say that they didn't tear the house down before a Backlash, but I just wondered how they were going to live up to that, because obviously we know in an I Quit match and a no disqualification match, it's not going to follow that same structure as a normal singles one-on-one. However, personally, I really enjoyed it. I like the backstage bit. I don't think there's been loads amount of time in the crowd, but I quite like going into the gorilla bit and sort of seeing Bobby Roode there and Bruce Pritchard. I like that sort of stuff. It reminds me of like SmackDown Shut Your Mouth when you used to be able to go backstage and I Quit matches and stuff. So I really enjoyed it. I thought there was some great move. The Brainbuster on the announce table, Crossroads on the steel chair, the handcuff segment, just beating Cody Rhodes, throwing the chair and he went for the floor forearm. I thought that was hilarious. And of course they finished it in the way, and before I get to the finish, actually, both men bleeding as well was, I wouldn't say a shock, but it's great to see WWE leaning into that again. Okay, and they did it really well. It wasn't like AEW where they're like streaming with blood. It was just a little bit there, but enough to make you go, oh, okay, this is a serious match, and I really appreciated that. And it gave the match a little bit more meaning to me. And then of course he had the steel stairs up at the end with Styles in the corner, and Styles said I quit, and Cody was like, nah, fuck you, man, I'm going to hit you with it anyway. But yeah, really good I Quit match. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was a really good way to start off the show. I'm glad to see Styles getting more main... I know this wasn't a main event, but main event style feuds and matches, because we know that his career is going to be wrapping up. Well, I say soon, he can go on for as long as he likes, but he's hinted at wrapping up and hanging up the boots, which will be a massive shame when it does happen. However, these two matches of Cody have been another... two matches to add to his legacy that I've really enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing what Cody goes on to do next. But he definitely is becoming the Cena, and even my girlfriend said to me when we were watching this, she was like, I'm getting kind of bored of it already, and she really wanted Roman to lose that title. Not to say this necessarily to Cody, she just wanted Roman to lose the title, but she was excited to see Cody Rhodes win it. So the fact that she sort of turned on it already really begs the question in my mind, and of course a lot of comments on my shorts and stuff about Cody. A lot of people aren't a massive fan of him. So I do wonder how long this singing and babyface era is going to go on for before fans do a proper Cena turn on him and see what happens there. But I think when that does happen, it will be a full-on heel run for Cody Rhodes. I don't think he'll do the babyface, even though he's getting booed, stuff that Cena did. However, back to Clash of the Castle. Great way to kick off the show. Thought it was excellent. And yeah, Cody Rhodes retained, which of course we expected. So next up was the triple threat tag team match for the Women's Championship, which saw Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler versus Alba Frey and Isla Dawn versus the tag team champs Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, and of course the Scottish homecomers. Alba Frey and Isla Dawn won the titles in a shock victory. Now, I predicted that Jade and Bianca would retain. I think a lot of people had the same sort of sentiment as well. This was a fun match. It didn't blow me away. I didn't think, sort of going on second, I didn't think anyone expected this to be like a show stealer. But it had a lot of fun with it, and it was really good to see the hometown girls get their moment and, of course, celebrate in front with their family, winning some championship gold. I was enjoying Jade and Bianca's title run. I thought like they brought a certain prestige to the tag team titles in the women's division, and I felt like they had really elevated them. And say they haven't had that many defenses, so it was great that the Scottish girls got their moment in Scotland. But the real work begins now in if you can make those tag team titles relevant like Jade and Bianca did, or did you just get that cheap pop, which we'll get into later, to satisfy the Scottish crowd. I don't know. Again, as I say, it was great to see that happen, but forward-thinking booking, let's not let these women's tag team titles get forgotten like they have done in the past. And hopefully Jade and Bianca's story continues in somewhat before they collide in that mammoth main event-worthy feud, I'm sure. But yeah, a fine match. Quite enjoyed it. So next up, we had the Intercontinental Championship match between Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. And boy, this was match of the night for me. I really enjoyed this match. I thought the storytelling was just done to perfection. Chad Gable was really dominant in this match. Just like, I can't remember the last time we had a Chad Gable singles match on a pay-per-view. You know, I almost feel like I want to say ever. I'm sure he has had one, but I can't think of one. And he really got to highlight his skills here. Fantastic wrestler, and definitely deserves that IC championship. Of course, he did come up short here, and Sami Zayn got the win here, as we predicted. As much as I wanted Chad to win, I have to admit, even in my prediction video, I even went, no, I'll go with Chad and give him the benefit of the doubt, but I knew, and I went back in that video and said, no, Sami is going to retain. Of course, that is what happened. Phenomenal match. The storytelling with Maxine Dupree and Otis as well. You know, the backwards and forwards, and of course at the end, Otis turning on Chad Gable and carrying Maxine out, deciding not to attack Sami Zayn, which of course distracted Gable and allowed Sami to hit that haluva kick and get the win. I just thought it was really well done. I thought it was really well paced. It was slow enough where you had the wrestling action, but also like done in a way that even though the match was slow, it was really engaging for me as well. And normally I'm one of those people that quite likes a fast-paced match, but there was quite a lot of segments where they were going backwards and forwards and, you know, trading wrestling holds and sort of telling the story of like, look, you don't want to grapple with Chad Gable because Chad Gable is going to beat you here. You know, you sort of have to be a little bit faster, a little bit more on your toes. And Sami Zayn plays the perfect underdog in these sort of fights, and he has done his whole career. And of course we had Gunther at WrestleMania 40. He plays that so well, and of course Otis is playing the role so well, not knowing to side with Chad and sort of being not really sure which way to go. And of course I think going forward now we are gonna see Otis turn on Chad Gable, but at the end when Sami's walking up the ramp, he went like this, that's done, you're not getting another shot, Chad. And Chad was just looking so upset and angry. I saw someone leak on Twitter. Now this is a leak, it's not official. I don't even think it's near right, for a number of reasons. However, what I will say is that leak did say an Iron match between Sami Zayn and Chad Gable at Money in the Bank. And do I think it's going to happen? No. But would I like to see it? Hell yes. 30 minutes of that. Trading falls, I think that would be fantastic, and I really want to see Chad win that IC championship. But I do agree with the kayfabe story like this of he has enough chances and he keeps failing because, you know, he keeps losing focus and the Alpha Academy keep getting in the way. So phenomenal match of the night for me. Really enjoyed it. If you didn't watch the pay-per-view, I do recommend you go out and check out this match because I thought it was a lot of fun. So next up, we had the Women's World Championship match between Bayley and the hometown hero, Piper Niven. And of course, Bayley got the win here. I said in my predictions video that this was a match I was probably least excited for. I didn't think it was going to be that good. And I'm just going to go out and say it. I didn't really enjoy it. It was good that Piper got her hometown return and got to have this championship match. But I did feel like it was thrown together. I didn't feel like there was that much story there. And I feel like the promo package even reflected that personally. And the crowd didn't seem that into it. I know it had been like, it hadn't been a long night, it hadn't been that many matches. But I was surprised, especially in her entrance, what lack of reaction that she got. And I actually said that I felt a little bit bad for her. Because this is like what we dream of as a kid, right? A wrestler coming back to your hometown, getting that big ovation and winning the title. Not only did I feel like she didn't get the ovation she deserved, but of course she didn't win the title either. However, that being said, the match just didn't click with me. I'd like to know what you guys thought in the comments below, whether you thought this was good or not. But I just didn't think it was that good, to be honest with you. I didn't feel like the crowd was that into it personally. There was a few seconds where they piped up here and there, and I didn't really like the ending. I like the fact that it did protect Piper Niven, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like she's a wrestler that needs protecting because they haven't really done anything with her. She's been slapped into the tag title division and not much care or thought's been given to that, I don't think, when they were the tag champs, to then be thrown into this main event thing. I just think that when you have to build up stars, right? And you have to make the audience care. And to me, her coming to the hometown in Scotland was not enough for me. Even though I'm from the UK, you know, not from Scotland, from England, but from the UK, it wasn't enough of a reason for me to rally behind her and wanted to really see her win the championship. Personally, from a kayfabe point of view, of course, from a personal sort of view, of course, it would have been great to see her get that moment. But from a kayfabe point of view, and the characters that we're invested in, I wanted Bayley to retain. You know, she's the more interesting character. She's got the more interesting story. She's the better competitor. If we're being honest. So yeah, I don't really have that much to say about this match. I would say it's all right to poor, personally, in my personal opinion. I hate to say that, but it's just how I felt about it. And of course, let's pick the momentum back up after that slightly sour note with the main event: Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, let's just get straight into it. Damian Priest retained the title. Now, this shocked me, to be fair. We knew in the predictions video that I did that it was going to be, it could really go either way. I said that in that video that I couldn't see them Drew losing the title, but if there was any punk shenanigans, that was how it's going to go down. And of course, there was punk shenanigans, and I thought it was done beautifully. So, personal feelings aside, I am a little deflated. I really did want to see Drew get that title in Scotland, especially after Clash of the Castle 2022 and the WrestleMania moment. It was deflating. It was a little bit disappointing. However, boy oh boy, is the Punk and Drew storyline the best storyline we've had. You know, it's up there for me. Like, in terms of ones that I've personally lived through and witnessed, it's right up there. I'm talking Daniel Bryan on the Authority level, personally, for me. What a personal rivalry we're witnessing. Not just the Mania mishaps, but just everything that's happened in between. You know, Punk getting locked in the WWE headquarters gym, and then Drew taking the mick out of that, and just all the backwards and forwards they have on Twitter. And then, of course, that shot where he slid into the ring. 1, 2, and then up yours. It revealed CM Punk. I thought that camera angle was absolutely brilliant. We've seen a lot of wrestling, right? Wrestling has been going on for longer than I'm sure, definitely myself, but I'm sure many of you viewers as well. WWE's been around for years. Not hundreds of years, but years and years and years. I've never seen anything like that. Years and years and years. I've never seen anything like that. I thought it was unique, and I love unique when it comes to wrestling. One of the downfalls of wrestling is we see the same thing over and over again. This was new. And as a result of that, I walked out of it feeling, you know, despite being a little bit deflated and disappointed that Drew didn't win, I walked out of it feeling like, that shocked me. And genuinely, when wrestling does that, I can't hate it. I just can't hate it. I love being shocked. I love being surprised. I love them taking us on a ride and going in a different direction. And that's what I felt they did here. And of course, despite my feelings for Drew not winning, I am actually in another way happy that Damian's title reign goes on. Because if I'm not mistaken, he has only defended that title once before against Jay. And it would have been a shame to see him lose it on his second defence. And of course, it wasn't clean. Drew did have him pinned clean before Punk came out. But, however, the rest of the match, of course, was great. And we have to talk about that botch, of course, where horrific botch, where Damian Priest's leg got caught in the top and second rope when he went to do a dive to the outside where he jumps off the second rope. It was awful. Caught there, it was terrifying to watch. However, what a credit Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest are to this business. You could have watched that and thought it was part of the show. In my personal opinion, from the commentators to Drew's reaction to it to Damian Priest selling it for the rest of the match, I thought it actually added to the match. Imagine that, a botch that doesn't take you out of the match, it invests you more in the match. And I just thought that was absolutely fantastic. I thought the way that Damian was selling it, just showing what a true professional he is. The way that Drew was like hitting him at first and he was like, I've got to win this match, I've got to get him out of this. You know, the referee was the one that sort of just left it, and I thought that was kind of weird. Commentators sort of say like that could have broken his ankle, how serious it was. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I can't believe that a scary botch at that, and I pray that Damian's all right and not actually broken his ankle or anything, because that would be devastating. But from the kayfabe point of view, let's say the kayfabe where, you know, wrestling is real and things like that happen, and I just thought it was brilliant. I thought it really added to the match. I thought the rest of the match was really good. It was quite fast-paced. It wasn't too slow-paced. Lots of action, lots of big moves. Just true two people that you wouldn't say like, oh, Drew McIntyre, Damien Priest, that's a dream match. And to be honest with you, if this was on any other card that wasn't Clash of the Castle in Scotland, I would have been like, it's a mid-match. These two proved me wrong. And it deserved to go on last. The storytelling was done really well. The Punk and Drew storyline, I just can't wait to see what they go with that. I can't wait to see those two get in the ring. And I hope that all this hype and build-up gets the big payoff that it deserves. I'm guessing at SummerSlam, and we see Damien versus Gunther. Unless a cash-in happens, of course, at Money in the Bank next month. But yeah, absolutely awesome match. Really, really enjoyed it. And despite being disappointed that Drew didn't win, it was great storytelling. So that is a wrap of Clash at the Castle 2024 Scotland. I really want to know what you guys saw of the pay-per-view down below, so please do leave a comment. I have to say, I really enjoyed it. The two women's matches that were second and fourth, they were okay. The Pipe and Niven one I didn't massively enjoy, but that's just personal preference. But the World Championship match, the WWE Championship match, and the Intercontinental Champion match, I thought there were three brilliant matches, and I thought this was a really good pay-per-view. I'm gutted that we couldn't go and see it live, it being, I say only up the road to Scotland, still like a 7-8 hour drive from me. However, the atmosphere in there looked awesome, but I really enjoyed watching it. Credit to WWE, man. I mean, even when you feel like your interest is starting to dip, they pull you back in with a pay-per-view like this, and I can't wait for Money in the Bank next month, and of course SummerSlam in August, where hopefully we're going to see some of these big rivalries like Punk and Drew McIntyre, King of the Ring, Gunther, Roman returning, Cody. You know, there's so much to look forward to. And yeah, Clash of the Castle, what a pay-per-view. But of course, please do let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Leave a big fat like if you did enjoy this video. And of course, subscribe for more wrestling action coming at you very soon. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for watching. And I will see you in the next video. See ya!